Good afternoon, graduates. Graduates. I've been waiting the better part of 17 years to say that, and some of you have waited certainly less, some of you possibly more. And I have my own story to be sure, and while I'll speak to it in a moment, I want to emphasize that my story, while unique, is no more unique, no more special, and certainly no better than any of yours. We WGU graduates have a collective story, a story that resonates deep within our bones, at the core of our being, a story filled with soul, with optimism, and with spirit that will continue to shape and mold us as the strong, tenacious individuals that we are. Individuals that could not and would not accept selling themselves short or settling for less. Some of us bear the scars of decisions from years past, of roads not taken, of choices that didn't always pan out. Some of us may have left college the first go-round to pursue opportunities that, while initially enticing, fizzled into disappointment. Some of us had children and decided to put school on hold. Others chose to work to support families and loved ones. To those of you in your early 20s, congratulations. You're already a major step ahead of us. But take our experiences and distill the wisdom from within. Learn from our choices and strive for the excellence that you're already beginning to accomplish. I'd venture a guess, though, that we're not all in our 20s anymore. In fact, as President Pulsifer said, the average graduating age is closer to 40 than it is to 30. But I'm sure that's just the men, because as a 37-year-old married man, I'm well aware that my wife has been 29 for the last 8 years. And she gets playfully upset when she doesn't get asked for ID when we go out, because that's what I used to do. Prior to returning to school, in my former life, I was a bartender. I once read that college students that go to school and drop out are better off not having attended to begin with, that they constantly feel a sense of disappointment in themselves, and that they're less prone to take risks in life. They're more likely to get into debt, and they're less likely to ever get out of it. They're typically unable to buy a home. I left San Francisco State University 2 semesters short of graduating in the spring of 2008, 6 months before the Great Recession. I was hired into a tech startup role and was flying high and felt invincible, and then crashed and burned when the Great Recession obliterated the world economy. I fell into the service industry and began bartending. The allure and seductive nature of nightlife appealed to me. The armchair psychologist that I believed myself to always be, quick to dispense wit, advice, and a joke when needed. I always enjoyed the party life, sleeping in until noon, waking up hungover from going out the night before, and stumbling into work while wiping the sleep from my eyes. I worked in all sorts of bars, from classy wine lounges to airport pit stops to the Oakland Raiders Curfew Hotel, until finally landing my dream job in 2019 at the brand new Virgin Hotel San Francisco. Richard Branson had decided to get into hotels, and San Francisco was location number 2. This was it, the ground floor of a Virgin-built rocket ship. A 6-figure bartending job with paid health care. Hell, Mr. Branson even offered health care for our cats. I truly reached peak bartending, and I felt safe, because bartending, after all, is recession-proof. People drink when they're rich, they drink when they're poor. They drink when they're happy, and they certainly drink when they're sad. But something was always missing. That article that I mentioned earlier, it's a real thing. And each one of us that has started and left school knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's the unconscious burden that we bear of selling ourselves short and of settling for less. The burden of feeling like failures, of leaving loose ends. Those statistics resonate with us because we feel ourselves slipping into them with despair. Though I was happy on the outside, making great money in an easy, albeit physically taxing job, was this truly going to be my future for the rest of my life, stuck in party mode? On March 17, 2020, California initiated a COVID lockdown that didn't even give me the opportunity to say goodbye to that sparkling hotel, company, and coworkers that I loved. Sent to quarantine for weeks on end, Virgin Hotels San Francisco permanently shuttered its doors only a few months later. And once again, I found myself completely lost in life, entirely devoid of a plan or what my next move would be. But like the rest of us, I found my spark, in the form of a loved one that picked me up when I was down. In my lowest moment, my wife was there for me. She encouraged me to take a chance, to bet on myself, to dust myself off once again, and to finally tie up that loose end, once and for all. I was not going to be a statistic. And here's the best part, neither are any of you. My wife, with her master's in healthcare administration, is a boss, literally. and she was able to support me while I went back to school. And because she blazed the trail ahead, I now follow in her footsteps with my bachelor's in healthcare management. I stand before you today because a network of people that loved and cared for me refused to let my spark go out. It's been a 17-year journey to get to this point, and I don't know how long it's been for you, but I'd bet we've shared a few experiences along the way. We've scratched, we've clawed, we've refused to give up. We've been dealt bad hands, we've hit potholes in the road of life, we've zigged when we should have zagged, but we never quit. We're here today most likely because someone else saw that greatness in each one of us. Someone saw it and breathed air on that spark, turning it into a fire. And that fire roars now as we revel in the culmination of our sweat, our tears, our sacrifice, and our commitment to not only not settle for less, but to continually strive for more. Our mascot is the night owl, and as I speak to you, I speak to thousands of night owls during the day. I think we all laugh about this a bit because we understand the meaning of our mascot, of staring at the blurry computer screen at 2 a.m. with our coffee running low. And while writing this speech, though, I did a little research about owls, and I'll leave you with this from Wild Bird World. An owl out in daylight is a symbol of awakening. The owl is usually only found at night. Seeing one outside during the day can be interpreted as an indication that you will soon see something outside of your own box, and this might mean that you are about to come into a new realization that will change the world as you know it. Congratulations to the WGU class of 2022. We're the outliers to the statistics, and I wish you all the best of luck as we go forward, changing the world as we know it.